getting ahead of myself. Everybody wants to go to Japan.
Okay, you looked at your fingers to verify that 5 was 10. Well, actually not. This is number 10.
Never do math on streams.
Yeah.
Coastline, consulate, border, villa, cafe, clubhouse.
And that makes it bank. All right. So we're getting some variety tonight. Yeah. I think we had, the EU that was all cafe. Then we had NA that only had 1 repeat map. Now we're getting a variety pack here of Latin America, and that's good to see, because that also means that the next play day will have some more variety to it as well, because it means the auto bans are different.
Yep, you're forced to kind of play different.
Yeah, and so it'll keep it shaken up. Like when you start off by all playing the same map, it takes a while for more variety to kind of sink in. Whereas if you start off by playing different maps, it just means we keep that variety for future ones. Obviously, we did still get a cafe though, which was nice. We didn't get that with NA. And always just start off with that. But let's see what you guys think of this actual matchup.
Well, actually, Black Dragons have a big fan base, but it's not enough really to push it beyond what we're expecting. Immortals with 66%. It makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that being said, though, like I said, every beginning of the season is a bit of a wild card. I did think, for example, even Red Devils looked like they had some potential there to come back, but Ninja's Pajamas just too strong. Immortals, as you said, may not always do the best at LAN, but they certainly are one of the best at getting there. And that's what this is all about. That's what these matches are for. So they're one of the best at these matches. We've seen them go like flawless runs and things like that for quite a long periods of time. And unless something has significantly changed for them, this is going to likely be a good match for them. This is not, a FaZe versus Liquid in terms of high status, but at the same time, I think there's some potential for Black Dragons to throw some serious weight behind them.
Let's hope for Black Dragons. Immortals definitely have a big advantage. The performance also in Milan. The same thing when they were in Rio. They lose, but they really give it a big, big fight before they do so. And they're big contenders for the scene. Bank being the map, it's a map that they're pretty comfortable on as well.
Yeah,
Black Dragons kind of added as well.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got Bank by now. Pretty much.
I mean, this is something I want to touch on because we were talked about in the past few games, especially in the previous one. Jackal and anti-roam operators.
Yeah.
They haven't always been played. When they have, they've been hit and miss here for Latin America so far.
I mean, you've got Jackal, you've got Lion, you've got Dokkaebi, you've got now the anti-flank operators of Nomad and Gridlock. You've got a lot of control you can execute against roamers from the attacking side now, so it's on the roamers now to be a bit more stealthy. And, obviously there are ways they could do that with Vigil, for example, is one, or, Caveira is playable still. So there's some opportunities. It's just you can only ban so many attackers, so you're likely to see a few of those on this map in particular. We'll see, though, what is going to be banned here in just a moment. And voila.
They're taking their time here, Black Dragons, to decide on which one to go to. And there you go. Of course, as usual, it's good luck, have fun, and chat for everyone. So, clean game. No fisticuffs.
Capitao, there we go. There's the first cap ban.
It's a pretty big ban, to be honest. Capitao is a really strong operator nowadays. So, I'm not really surprised that we have the Capitao being banned at the end of it, or at the start of it, to be clear. But on a map like this, we've seen it do a lot of damage in Red Hallway. I mean, if in the past Capitao was strong against those basement takes, man, is it tough now.
Well, because now you can get the fire in there in that Red Hallway behind the mirror position and just let it spread right there, and it is very strong. You get 2 of those. You could even get one probably at an angle of some sort, so you could almost get it towards the gold vault to an extent, but at the same time, it's not going to cut off a ton. But yeah, I agree. That is very powerful. There's a lot of long angles that Capitao can play off of onto all the different various sites. And, one thing he can do is he can shoot through a punch hole.
Yeah.
Or a pistol hole.
It's one pixel that he needs.
Yeah, just a pistol hole is all it takes. And we don't see that happen a lot because, obviously, you don't want to misfire, hit the wall, and then burn yourself up.
It happens more often on border when you play on ventilation, for example.
Yeah. It's definitely something you could do. So I can understand why they might not want to play against it. But it looks like we're having a few issues. So it might take us a few minutes to get into game here again, but at least we know about the Capitao ban.
Yeah, that's something we can talk about
Step
for the
one.
next while.
Right. So much to say about Capitao. I do like that, something we actually haven't mentioned as well, we're talking about his Firebolt buff. Obviously, he didn't get any buff on the smoke, but he did get the buff in getting the scope from Gridlock onto the LMG, and we're seeing so much more play of that LMG now by just changing a scope, just like what happened with Ash and the 2 guns that Ash uses. Changing a scope especially that kind of scope, can matter so much for operators in this game. And it's kind of funny because like the LMG was always available, and there's quite a few LMGs available. They just rarely get played, but something about adding that scope to Capitao's LMG just made it so much more usable. And now all of a sudden he can just spray. You know, he doesn't have to reload, which is good because it takes him a really long time to reload. But for long periods of time, he's now a super suppressive operator because, right, you suppress with smoke, you suppress with fire, now you get suppressed with gunfire as well. When it comes to suppression, he is the man for it, I think, at this point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's really any other operator that does it in the same way. You can kind of put Gridlock in a similar position as him.
Yeah.
The 249s are basically the same gun. It's just they function in different ways. You want more ammo.
Much faster reload, yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. You really have to exchange one for the other. The sustainability is still not the same out there between them. Gridlock does it in a different way where she can lock things down for a longer point of time.
Here's the problem, though.
Yes.
The speed. Capitao is 3 speed. Gridlock is 1.
Yes.
A little bit of a gap between the two there in terms of being a suppressive operator that can also get into the mix.
I mean, as Zeronic would say, is the big woman still here?
That's
always the question.
It's tricky. It's tricky to deal with. Looks like we might be able to get back into the game here in just a moment as we are hopefully getting started. But I am interested to see what the other bands are here in terms of whether or not we've moved past the Capitao and what else we'll be dealing with on the bands. I mean, are we going to have a Thatcher band yet again? So far, we're 3 for 3 on that. But let's get back into the game and take a peek here. Oh. We don't have Thatcher in play, but it looks like we don't have the bands yet. But we do have, speaking of, Gridlock.
Yeah, which is not surprising. I mean, again, and there you go, this is 249.
I guess maybe that was their replacement for Capitao, as we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe they decided to go with that instead.
It works. I mean, she shuts things down a different way. Capitao is more active when you want to play on the site, whereas with Gridlock, it's mostly off of the site. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of different operators that kind of have interchangeable roles, and there's one thing that you lose compared to gaining something else. Like if you compare Ash and Zofia, Bullet will find 1 kill. That's Panico, the first one eliminated. And what is Bullet
trying to finish
doing?
it, though.
There we go. We're going to see another shock drone this week.
Goodbye. What? No! Oh! Wow, denied! Wow.
Faded in.
Was it the Echo? Because then it looks like you might have already got it. The Echo's already dead. Maybe not? No, that was from earlier. It's just PZD just crawling around. Might get picked up. No, he does get picked up. Bullet's going to be frustrated now at this point. He's going to have to finish that job himself. Here we're going to get some tracks on the stairs here. Looking for the right angle to pop the mat so the little frogs jump out into just the right spot. Bloop, 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 bloop.
That's how it goes.
It is a fun little animation to get out of that. It's actually very hard to deny it, too, to stop the animation, stop the spread.
It's an homage to the Japanese Cherry Blossom Festival.
If you say so. I like the way it spreads, though, depending on the space. You see how it angled around the stairs? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. You're going to see players get better and better at finding out tricks with those to be able to figure out the right angles to throw them at. Good use of the shock drone there. He's still working on this, but they got to know he's playing there, right? So they're going to be cautious of the garage, and there's no Echo there to be able to kind of deny or watch him a little bit. Oh, he's getting some sight, though.
Free fire! Oh, BZD!
The revenge!
This is a pretty great position to be in here.
Only you'd finished him off, you'd still be alive today.
This really has to annoy Bullet.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't just get tilted and scream at his computer at this point. But they are making some progress on this attack. They've got this hatch open here. They're looking to get some control from above. But 52 seconds left, and all they've gotten a kill on, well, I was going to say was Echo, but there goes Kaid as well.
Ram King still watching in. One of the few players to actually run the AUG. Was that Attila? Did they actually throw the Electric Claw there in the middle? Did it completely miss?
It's entirely possible.
Okay.
That's unfortunate. Shoot, PZZ on the creep. He's going to have to deal with those tracks now. Here's some more coming out you can hear in the background.
And more being deployed. Not sure if they're in red hallway or not, but Novi's
That's a good place to throw them.
Yeah, he's taking control of this now, Novi, so can definitely move on in his spot the side of the gun and find the kill on GDN. Take out the smoke. PZD low on HP. It'll peek around to Novi's who's just awaiting him. Right, Torcel will not connect Novi's for the 3K to grab round number 1. Bit of frustration there for the Twitch of Bullet, but Novi's will save the day.
Absolutely.
Putting 1 on the board.
I think it's great that they kill Bullet, so they suspect, okay, Garage is probably fine now. Navi's comes, takes his spot, and then just slays everyone from it. I mean, you see why Bullet was so adamant on taking that spot for that particular attack. It was all about attacking from that garage and putting consistent pressure on Red Hallway. And that's the thing, is you don't really see that often enough, is pressure on Red Hallway. Now, Cyber was teasing the Blitz, now the Monty, Willie 6 pick over to the Blitz. We rarely see that, you know, the old shield change, but entirely possible to have here. It will be interesting to see. Now, we have the operator bands up top now, so you can see Capitao, Habana, Mira, and Maestro. So the Mira band there, obviously why you didn't see it, but no Thatcher band, so he is available for once. So that's good to see. We are going to see the 6 pick over to that Gridlock again. They just wanted to hide that they were going to play it a second time. So that'll be interesting to see if those tracks again become useful, attacking on the same bomb site. I got to imagine they're going to be a bit more cautious about the garage this time, though, assuming Immortals even go for the same attack, as they are bringing, looks like, the same operators. So Black Dragons as well, trying to defend themselves from a garage push, I imagine, with potentially a yokai drone this time. You're going to throw one of those up in the garage just to watch it, so you're not peeking it blindly.
That's what makes sense. Black Dragons making this move. Obviously, we've had less plays with the bulletproof camera nowadays because you've had Echo really having this big resurgence compared to before. A lot of times when he's banned, you'll see operators bringing out the bulletproof camera specifically on this map, on this site. Black Dragons realizing that they kind of lost Garage early on and weren't really expecting it. They'll go back down to it.
Yep. Well. Oh, Panico actually just getting aggressive in the garage, saying, you stay out of my garage this round. Fortunately, he doesn't find anyone, but it looks like they actually could be going for a sewers push this time, which will be interesting. At least Navi's Bullet going to go the same way, but Cyber in the meantime takes down Hugzord. Again, the first pick, the Echo. Ooh, nice follow-up on the smoke. That's all the denial down here. Cyber doing some good work, and you know what? That C4 kill on him, not a big deal at this point. He absolutely crushed it in terms of doing what he needed to do. Looks like, though, Live going to try and deny the sewers for as long as he can, but he's concerned about the server stairs here, and for good reason, because they're about to push them on him. This is getting a little cocky off his plate. Nope, do not recheck that.
There should be someone droning in here for the attack, and Maverick will actually know, hey, there's nobody inside. Oh, there you go. Finally, he's able to spot one player that went on down. The Mute is still fighting in, and Servers is in control of the defense. Extra flashbang, and that's not the way you want it to go. Novies will have to fall back because this is getting a bit sloppy. Very smart from PZD to kind of walk on down and support his teammate in blue here. Otherwise, Live would be left to his own. And yeah, sure, you've got the SMG-11 and a shotgun, but you don't really want to lose a player for free here.
He just wants to see if he's still there. Wow, that pillar actually working a little bit against M-King as well.
Just fire being exchanged. There's not really much that both Immortals or Black Dragons can do. There's a lot of time for Immortals to walk on into the site. Oh, Black Dragons decently successful here in burning off time. They'll walk away from the site, and Novi's, oh no, he's already in the vault, and he's watching the red hallway. Bullet will find one kill on a Panico. It's the Jaeger that's unsure of where Bullet is. Doesn't even know maybe if Novi's is in this position. PX will go in for the plant in the back. Novi spotted. PCD finds one, but no, Novi's completely missing the mark. Oh no, that's not how it's supposed to go. The fuser won't be set down as PX still on his own.
Navi's could have completely won that round single-handedly from that play. Just unfortunate. And that's a good gun on Maverick too. This looks like, though, this is coming down to trying to guess who's going where. Is they going to creep towards potential vault plant, maybe?
So be careful here. You can go and plant, but because of the wall that's been opened up here for the Jaeger, you can definitely take the pop shots all the way down into A. But now he moves away from the regular position. PZD will find one kill on M-Gang, and now he gets even more aggressive, lying down on the floor, making a lot of noise, but he's got a mute jammer as well next to him to stop anything coming his way. PX walking around by the vault, unsure of where his opponent is, and there's Live ready. He pre-fires into him. PX will go down. Black Dragon successful on round number 2. Immortals, man, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, unfortunately for Navi's, like, while he had the great ninja plays, he failed in 2 aspects. First off, he couldn't finish pushing the sewers. The flashes didn't work out. He just didn't have enough pressure. I mean, the push in originally from Cyber was nuts and managed to make it work quite a bit, but then there wasn't enough follow-up to that. Then he does this awesome play of getting all the way into the vault, all the way up to gold, holding red hallway. They don't know he's there. He's got like 2 lined up, whiffs all the shots. had either of his plays worked, it could have been so much better of a round. And it was such a good start from the Gridlock as well. Just unfortunate that that round just did not go their way. But either way, great play from Black Dragons bringing it back overall.
Overall, yes. Again, that sneaky play was so perfect. I mean, eliminating 2 players early on, sure, you lose the Gridlock to the Nitro Cell, but it was still very doable. Having the Maverick in the back to hold things in from the vault is exactly what you needed in that situation. But yeah, even with no info, it's still more than enough. And really, the entire point is that you're explaining the fact that there's 3 players left on the defense, and 2 of them you know that are still in the server and in blue in general. So you can just walk on in, and maybe you can find one if they were able to find one player that was off the site, and it would have been doable. But
if PX had even been able to stick that plant earlier, then it would have been more doable too, because he was left in a position with the last player left alive having to get the plant down. And that's usually pretty unwinnable for a lot of players. We are going to see one difference with the alibi being played here for CEO. So we can see how that goes down. But Hugzord, let's how about you do us a favor and don't die right at the beginning? Do your whole team a favor, that'd be great. That's not really Echo's job to die at the beginning. It's like we're, seems like we're watching Nyx play Echo again.
It's definitely a pretty good Echo, to say the least.
We'll see if Bullet can do some serious damage this time. He seemed to be a pretty powerful player last time. So those Prismas, though, definitely not working out Cyber's favor. Will we see a jump out to try and play against it? But GDN actually took a lot of damage out of that. So I suppose that wasn't worse. Cyber actually not really taking any damage, just getting marked for a bit. This is working out to an extent, but don't over-push a shotgun. Nice. Wow. Both taken out.
Okay. Even more damage done to GDN, but he sticks his position. Value man sticks to his values.
Is he going to bank the grenade if he knows he's there? That'd be interesting. I don't think he knows. GDN just playing it so cautious.
Yokai is going to have to run away. There's one bit of tracking here coming out with an Alibi Prisma that had been preset, but GDN at least knows now that if he were to dive out, it would be instantly shot down. So there's an attacker watching the vault out here on the window, and GDN just playing so passively. Novice will take his time to come in. He's got a breaching torch, and he has support as well from his teammates.
Sneaky plays coming out here.
PX should be able to open things up in 1 flashbang, 2 flashbangs out, 3 flashbangs in. GDN, I'm not sure if he has any impacts. Yes, he does, and even with a crouch, because it was set so close to the wall on the side, the impact damage just kind of went around. Bullet onto Panico. The ACOG winning things out here. The alibi taken away. It's a 4v4 and a lot of time being wasted. Might just be a second set. There you go. There's a second impact grenade being used.
Well, now Cyber knows the smoke is there.
They should know he's in here, and but pre-fire on it. The exothermic charge was not set yet, so there's no information to be played off of. The Yokai was a bit too far away to give him any info. Live on the beautiful Legion Elite skin, by the way. Let's just say, went from dad to daddy pretty darn quick.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how useful that skin is in Pro League, as it hasn't been played by everyone just yet, but Bullet is going to lay it on the ground.
An extra smoke charge as well deployed. 33 seconds left on the clock. Hugzord watching the hallway angle here as the wall will get blown up, but that's opposite angle that you were expecting. PZD will find one kill. Hugzord coming off the angle as PZD will move slightly up behind the hallway. So far, nobody maneuvering into him. 3v2 as he finds the diffuser. Oh, this might just be all of it. He finds one more as well as Hugzord takes down Novi's all up to Cyber to dive on in. The 2 players still left alive. Diffuser on the outside, and if he's going to have to stick it all on his own, wonderfully done by Black Dragons to not push into him just yet, knowing that there's no time left. You either stick the diffuser or you die, and in this case, he doesn't stick it. It all ends, and the round goes the favor of the defense, BD.
So far, Black Dragons seeming after that first round to really have figured out what they were doing wrong there. I mean, it's just been a much more solid defense. Although I gotta say, it's just the impacting working out very well as well. Immortals didn't seem to have a great plan in terms of being able to get that wall open. They were not able to do so for so long. All that delay just left them basically stacking up. The inability of the Buck as well to finish the kill on the GTN certainly didn't help. GDN certainly didn't help with that, as GDN was one of the impact players trying to trick that wall. Had he been able to deny that and take him out, they might have been able to get the wall open earlier. So it was a nice try, but he just didn't have that follow-up grenade, the second one, to be able to finish GDN off. I think that could have been the real game changer. I mean, he didn't take the damage from sitting there, but nonetheless, that was definitely a big problem for him. But now we go down to Tellers, and we'll see how they do on that side as they won 2 of their sites so far, CEO and CCTV lockers there. So no huge differences on which operators will be getting played here. Will, though, interestingly have a switch of Panico taking over the Echo now instead of Hugzord. Hugzord did manage to not die last round and also managed to get a kill, so definitely a much better round for him the previous one. They will have at least a little bit of denial of, I gotta imagine the mute jammer is probably mostly on the walls, but they could potentially deny a little bit of droning into the site as well. Because this is one of those sites where it is good to know what the positioning of the players is and the distribution. You know, how many are in archives, how many are in tellers. Makes it easier to decide which side to attack, because you can attack either side and try and put pressure in from the middle, or even attack from the small office inside open area by blowing up with the wall. A lot of work for Thermite to do potentially too. And the interesting thing for me though is Thermite has so many walls to potentially open on this site, yet they don't bring a Thatcher.
Yeah, that's very true actually. He's not banned in this situation, unlike what he's been in the past 3 games, so...
Maybe they were planning on it being banned.
It's gotta be a thing now. Yokai Drone will escape, but Novice knows too well here the dangers of popping up too fast. Realizing there's at least one player on the opposite end of the hallway here. GDN remodeling a bit of the site from below. Bullet will maneuver around with his Twitch drone. A lot of time being wasted here by Black Dragons very effectively, and using those ACOGs at least keep their opponents at bay. Cyber not going to spot anybody behind the wall here. He doesn't have the information for it, but it's a pretty tight angle to hold.
Yeah, definitely hoping someone will cross that, but sitting there holding an angle on ATMs the entire round is definitely not the way to go for a buck, especially you've got so much utility to be used elsewhere. But they do a good job, I think, for the most extent when it comes to Navi's, Bullet, and Cyber, all kind of playing different flanks. And then you've got M-King calling out some of the utility as well for that, but it's like without a Thatcher, some of that utility you might not even be able to clear. And his Yokai drones seem to be a big pain for Navi's, especially to be able to decide where he could push. Cyber, though, managed to take out Live early. It's unfortunately not the Echo, but that is the Dock down, so he's certainly not going to be doing any healing this round, and that's an ACOG off the board down to just Panicos.
A lot of damage has been done to Cyber, though, in that engagement, and more drones being lost out in the hallway. But still, Black Dragons in complete control of the top floor with a minute left. Sure, they keep Immortals here, the buck alive, but for how long? And especially with the amount of time left, there's a lot of breaching charges here for M-King, so he can use that to his advantage, but Yokai Tron Nozel will not actually tap and do any work on him. Novice will find a kill on PZD, but it's Hugzord with the refrag very quickly to make it a 3v3. 42 seconds left as Black Dragon's still sitting pretty. More goo mines being deployed everywhere. It's not looking too good here for the Dragons.
Some fantastic collapses, though, from Black Dragons onto Immortals. Some good pinches you saw from some of the angles being pushed when you got the IQ being shot from behind with the shotgun through the wall, taking advantage of whatever intel they're able to get. Just a question now, how much of the intel is still left? I mean, I would hope for Immortals that some of those black eyes have been taken out, but they've lost M-King to be able to spot those.
Too little time left here. Cyber is just going to try to destroy as much of the floorboard as possible. Bullet coming in from the side to enter into the tellers. 5 seconds left. Diffuser is in his back pocket here. PX, he has to go and plant ASAP, but the shotgun from the side. Black Dragons will be able to clean up the round, and again off of time. Nothing really going the way of Immortals in this round. The longer you give the defenders on bank to kind of just set up and wait for you to come down into them, the higher the chances you'll lose the round.
And that's the thing is, with Bank, it's a roamers map, right? And so as you get lower on man count, the more time that you don't have to continue to position around, the more time the defenders can then use to position around you and retake all your areas of map control. You start getting flanked from different positions. You lose your ability to surprise the defenders because at this point they've probably got a good amount of intel on where you're pushing from. And it just becomes really problematic on Bank. Time management is very important on this map just because of the size. Cyber going to try again with the Gridlock and see if it works. You know, it's worked okay for him so far. And they know, of course, they're going to go back down to basement now that they can. So we'll see if it works as well this time as it did last time, although unfortunately that didn't end up leading to a win. So on this potentially final attempt on CCTV, I wonder if we'll see a lot of the repeats of the push of Navi's getting a nice flank or the push of Bullet coming in from the garage, and whether or not Hugzord can live longer this particular round. So there was definitely some good patterns being established the first 2 times we saw it being played, but it did go different ways each time. So Again, this could be the last time we see it getting played by Black Dragons, but if they lose it, they have one more opportunity. Some good frags coming out there from quite a few players. PZD especially, actually. I don't think we were highlighting him enough. All the way up at 6, doing some good work. This red hallway, they definitely need to be more concerned with the red hallway getting flanked from either the garage or even the vault.
Oh.
But this is definitely, every round they play this, Panico gets more and more brave.
Needs to do it here. And they'll lose one shock drone kind of for free there.
Not the best place to lose it.
No, and now they even relay one of the yokais to put in the back to support Panico, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, that's something that is very convenient for the player playing downstairs. And a big thing here is that with a lot of teams pushing into the bottom floor of the basement here on Bank is all about establishing battlefield control. And then, at the final 25-ish seconds, you have a final rotation down into the garage. That's something that you leave for the end of the round, at least traditionally speaking.
Well, they're trying to get some more angles on these server stairs, and I think they've realized that garage is probably not going to happen this round, that they're going to be over controlling it. So now they're going for a little bit of a different push, and instead a little more concerned about those server stairs. They are getting some tracks in similar positions, though, as they did before to kind of hold off those flanks. PZD definitely hearing those just a few feet from him.
Novi's maybe looking to ingress from Teller's entrance. There's nobody here to contest him, and it's fairly silent when you use the breaching torch. So, I mean, that's literally what it's called, it's a silent breach, right?
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah, I like how they called it Suri, which means, as far as I know, flame or fire in Afghan.
I don't understand what that has to do with the torch.
It's just...
You actually got baited.
Yeah, I always get paid about it. I just look at him and I was like, "Oh, what do you mean? Are you
dumb?"
But there you go. That's exactly what's happening. Before the push goes down, it's Bolt that's rotating down to the garage itself.
Oh, and they have control of server stairs as well now.
Yep, and look at all the tracks being thrown in. A Claymore as well to watch from the back. Bullet is just waiting. There's the yokais that is giving him information here, Panico, but also the bulletproof camera. PZD is in here also to support him. But with one player coming in from garage, it puts so many resources from Black Dragons away from the site where the actual push will happen.
And all he has to do is wait till they're not watching it anymore. But Panico is dedicated. He is like, this is my job. I've got my stim pistols just to live through this. You are not getting in this garage. And, of course, you know, Bullet should be waiting towards the end of the round, right, when things are cracking down. But it's 18 seconds left.
It's up to his teammates to really get the show on the road. Still, Maverick a bit too far away. PX being baited in. Smokes will be thrown out. M-King just spraying down outside of it. Bullet actually finds the kill on Panico, eliminating one. Nitro Cell will be thrown up and will not connect, but Hogsword will find the kill on Novi's. Time of the essence at the last second. PX is going to be able to put it all down, and Cyber spraying in. He gets 3, and M-King for the last one. Immortals salvaged the round out of nowhere with barely any time left. The Thermite just holds it, and the Echo diving out of the smoke. Man, that was...
chaos at the end there. Well played by Immortals, though. They spent way too much time setting that up, but they didn't lose people in the process. That's the important part. They set up all their traps, the claymores, the tracks, getting the hatches open, getting server stairs control, even getting Bullet up to the tip of the garage without losing him right away. Just getting everything in position. Took a little too long, but when the execute came down, it just seemed like Black Dragons were like, why haven't they pushed yet? They're going to push desperate now, but they were ready for it. And Immortals finally with another good round. So far, that's the only site they've been able to attack successfully. So that's what worries me about this round. CEO, again, they struggled a bit last time, but we know where they struggled. They struggled on dealing with those impact nades, denying their ability to open the wall. So if they can just more successfully do it this time, and interestingly, they're not going to bring the Maverick. Last time they had brought the Maverick instead, they are going to have the Gridlock. And interestingly, Navi's switching off the Maverick to a Lion.
You know, one thing that was very strong in the previous round is the smokes that were used by the Gridlock, and that's something that we've had a couple players really touch on. I think Fabian specifically in the interview with Parker a couple days ago really talked about, is that Gridlock brings so much to the table with the LMG, with her tracks as well, but also has a set of smoke.
Well, that also makes it even more viable as a replacement for Capitao.
Exactly.
You just don't have the fire.
Yeah. It's To quote another intelligent person, it's a side grade. It's a side grade.
Oh, side grade.
Yes, it's a side grade. The cycle is yet another intelligent person.
So many intelligent.
So many intelligent people. Really, all of us, I think, Devin, have our moments. Something to applaud.
Senior moments.
That's very true.
Well, Cyber actually trying to cut that. I like that angle there, cutting off any kind of rotation from the side before they try and go in. Usually, a lot of people come in just from the doorway, but I like that he's trying to clear it as much as possible, safely as possible, because they need to, of course, get over to the side to be able to take out the wall. But interesting, bullet going all the way through the garage again. He sure likes the garage. I gotta give him credit though, huge credit for winning that fight against Panico last time. I really thought that was going to Panico. So much intel being used here. Fortunately, another shock drone lost. He doesn't seem to want to use them so much for shocking things as they're being used mostly as just quiet drones. And one line EED firing off so far. Oh, the encounter coming up here. Oh, that's going to give you your position away.
Unfortunate, the Jaeger will peek around. It's still unsure of which position to take. He awaits information from his yokai possibly and just walks away. Okay. It's a way to do it. Aren't sure.
Did you go to elevator? Looks like possibly. There's the yokai down there as well.
I think he ran all the way out. Yeah, there's the drone from Live that came in to try and give him came into
but
spot Live. Oh, PZD.
had no idea PZD was there. What a great bait from Live.
Great bait, mate. Really appreciate. Hogzord switching back to his yokai to sit up all around the map. Live now coming down to support PZD, so the duo is definitely working very well as Panico is waiting for the AQ to peek around the corner here into Janitor. Oh, he has the info. The Valkyrie camera is being so instrumental for Panico.
You just got to get the timing to go along with it.
So much time being wasted here. Novies will just enter on the site and find Live as we speak. Yet another E1D, the last one in the back pocket of the Lion, will get used. And King for the pre-fire onto the cottage, but the AUG is just, oh man.
That's a tough one. GDN's still holding his position, though. It looks like they're not even really concerned about getting that wall open so far, despite bringing the thermite.
Reasons to bring the AUG. It looks good. That's pretty much it. M-King waiting for the pre-fire, and there you go. He finds Panico just trying to play sneaky. And two yokais. Maybe the second. No, the last one is able to escape, but that's a lot of work done here.
Well, so far they're still outside the building. 20 seconds left. Kind of need to get inside, boys. Otherwise, you cannot make a withdrawal in time.
What are Immortals doing? They're wasting all their advantage. Finally, though, M-King will find another one and enter onto the site. Less than 10 seconds left. PZD will shut down the flank here. Cyber inside of the site, though, they have to just really try to deal with the IQ. GDN is still alive. He goes in. He's unable to finish off BX. The diffuser has been planted. PZD from behind as BX turns around after the diffuser gets set and finds the kill. How is this even happening? Immortals scraping victory.
Are they the new Vitality? Just this last minute push. I mean, they're doing a great job on their setup for the executes, but you guys are cutting it close. So many people outside still at the 20-second mark. We'll see those sides switch if this is defensive side or what, but either way, 3-3 going into it with the tie. Both teams showing they have some strengths and some weaknesses in terms of playing this. So the question is, though, how is Immortals going to play their defense? And will Black Dragons play a similar taking forever tactic on their attacks? We will, of course, start on CCTV. No surprise there. That is the primary bomb site, and that has never really changed other than a little more prominence to CEO than there used to be. We'll see if this... nope, no 6 picks. Oh, there we go. Right last second from one SS operator to the other. Mute to a smoke. Not sure why they felt the need to hide that, or maybe it was just last-minute decision change. But they are going to be bringing a Maverick on Black Dragons as well, much like Navi's did. But the difference is they're not going to bring a Twitch. Instead, they're going to bring the Thatcher. So finally, I believe that marks our first Thatcher of the day, seeing as they had been banned in all the previous times and not brought before that. So that is surprising to me.
A Bullet's still keeping up with the Echo, but yeah, as you mentioned, the Thatcher's in here is going to combo pretty well with the IQ. But it's a very good thing to have because, you know, we saw the amount of damage that has been done with the yokais, with the Valkyrie cameras. They've been so instrumental, their positioning in general, but really, it was mostly all of this utility exploited very well by Black Dragons.
Yeah.
Not really spotted by Immortals. They were focusing a lot on grabbing Twitch and really looking for the firepower and the extra anti-utility they can have with that, whilst forgetting that maybe they got a bit more technical, it might be able to help them.
I love that Bullet's still in the garage on defense too as Echo. That's where he belongs apparently. One thing they have the advantage of bringing the IQ is that they can potentially see the pulse. If they know that there's a pulse in play, they can then, I mean, the important thing is to determine, is he in gold vault or not? If you can see, because he's going to be on his heartbeat sensor if he is. So if you see that, okay, we know we have to worry about baiting him out because he can call out exactly when we're going to the plants. If he's not there, you can play the site very differently and just play off of baiting C4s and smokes. So it's important to know that. Hopefully, for Bullet's sake, though, he doesn't get picked out early. They've got a deployable shield.
Is that a shoddy? Is that a Jaeger shoddy?
It's yeah, is it?
Bet you it is.
M870 is a beast. It's actually a longer range than you'd expect.
At that point, just bring the SPAS 12 or 15.
Yeah.
I mean, Latin America, back even before they were in Pro League, used to run quite a bit of the Cav SPAS 15 or the SPAS 12 Valkyrie, and that was a big strategy even for other regions. If Evan definitely remembers back those days.
Xbox days too. The SPAS on the Valkyrie SPAS on the stairs.
Now we see Ella being put in that position, for example, which is not really an op that you get to see that often.
No, it's definitely the nerf did its job. Looks like Panico, though, is a little concerned about when he opens that hatch being a little exposed. You see exactly why. Navi's, hello, here's a joke for you. Unfortunately, misses, does no damage, and that is his C4 expended now. He's slowly working away, but doesn't matter because now he can't finish the job on the hatch. Navi's doing a great job finding the kill with his gun instead of his C4.
That laser is just so easy to spot on the other side of the wall.
It's like he's trying to trick a cat.
Goes in for one kill. Can he grab the second? He's somehow still alive. He does grab the 2. Oh man, Cyber, can he get the third one as well? Just trying to look around. Just walk into him. The Yokai drone will support as GDN walks on in, but still survives.
They just feed him. How did he win those? He's just like a little bouncy.
It's like a game of whack-a-mole back there. Novi's again. One more on the Huck sword, and that's GDN, last man alive. Yokai'd yet again. I can't believe that actually happened there. What are you doing?
He wanted those stairs back. This Jaeger worked hard for them, and you know what, Navi's, I gotta say, despite some of the plays not working out, Navi's my MVP of this match so far. I like a lot of his plays. They don't always work, but I think he's really on top of it and making great use of the intel that he gets. However, that is Immortals taking the round and showing that defense working out pretty good so far, but that's of CCTV. Now, to be fair, CCTV actually was won 2 out of 3 times earlier by the attackers. So far, a little bit better defense coming out from the Immortals, I think, overall, if you're going off those stats.
And if you're not?
Then, do whatever you want, I guess.
I guess you like to live in anarchy.
Yeah.
What kind of life is that?
A lonely one.
Anarchy in the Rainbow Six.
That's right. Well, we see a little bit of 6th pick there over to the sledge. They're bringing out the Gridlock again. So it is interesting, though. So much Gridlock and no Mozzie. Interesting. I mean, Mozzie's got like Kix was talking about it a lot Monday as well. Mozzie's got a great kit.
Oh, yes.
Like, I mean, his ability aside.
The Roni is really good.
Yeah. And
even if you look at his carbine as well, he's just got a great pick. He's very fast, speedy boy.
Speedy boy. Also a difference here from Immortals, rather than depending on CEO to be their secondary, they're going to Tellers straight away.
Still requires you to hold on to CEO, right? At least some sort of hold around CEO, the meeting chamber, and janitor. So
He's still doing pretty much most of the work for his team in terms of kills. Keep it a minute, though.
Camera activated.
We'll see if he can continue that, or if we're going to see this swing pretty heavily Immortals' way. I mean, they've got the lead now, and I think a decent lineup of defenders. But the Thatcher does mean they can do. Remember earlier I was saying that there's so many places you could thermite, so many walls that you could. Well, I guess 3 walls, 3 different walls that thermite's useful on this bomb site, and they weren't bringing a Thatcher to take care of the mute. Now they are. I mean, because obviously it's switched sides. So I think Black Dragons are in a better position to at least open things up on this bomb site. But like you said, CEO control is still very vital in that. So the parts I'm talking about are more for the horizontal part. So if they can get that initial top-down control, bring in the Thatcher, get the thermite going, should be easy peasy for Black Dragons.
I'm King still surviving. It's It's always odd to see an Echo so far off, but he's got all that he needs in this situation. A lot of utility being put his way, so Emkin can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the time with his teammates. Hatch being opened up, though, will force him away, so just opening a bit of an extra angle. Maybe somebody will peek from the top floor, but there's nobody to find just yet.
Yeah, it does seem weird to dedicate him to a room where you know he definitely might die if they come after him in force. He's not exactly the fastest guy. He's got a decent gun, but he does have some backup now from Legion, so we'll see if that's going to help him stay alive so they can control that side, make sure that there's not going to be any thermiting coming through the small office and admin or open area.
Panico just waddling in. I mean, again, to add on to why Gridlock and Mozzie's kit are so great, then you add the Super Shorty, which just gives you extra soft destruction. I mean, it's maybe not as great as Jackal, but the Super Shorty is actually surprisingly great when it comes to just opening things up. This is a great option. What can I say?
Some tracks being set up on the doorway as well, and that's something great to stop any kind of runouts while you start to take the main lobby. Be able to take control of that, so it's good use of that as they are really taking control of the top floor. This is working out very well for Black Dragons. The only thing, of course, is time is still going to work against them if they can't start to turn this into an execute and hear more of those tracks being set up as well. So good on Panico on getting his job done utility-wise.
PZD, say, is still alive, just opening things up as much as possible. And there you go, I was going to say, having all 5 players alive is definitely not great. Removing the Legion is a pretty important operator to take away just because the T5 does so much work up close personal. And even at this point, all of those goo mines have been expended. PCD cannot walk down, but at least he can give himself some extra angles on his opponent. And he'll find one. Grenade won't be lobbed. No, unfortunately, Cyber will still find the kill as the diffuser's been set. And now all that PZD has to do is watch the 1 rotation position. He's got 1 kill, goes in for the second PZD. Now with a triple kill. 2 left alive. It's M-King and Bullet looking for the retake. But here you are. That's the power of Gridlock. 1 kill, an easy one here against GDN. Still halftime here on the diffuser. Not a lot to work with. Bullet trying to go for the run out as Panico is just locking down location on his own. Bullet wins the fight somehow. The diffuser's not spotted just yet. He has to go for it. He has to deal also with his opponents on top. More damage done to him with the SMG-11. There's so many tracks everywhere. Hugzord. Oh man, amidst the whole bit of chaos, he'll find the last kill on Bullet. The diffuser is finally getting planted somewhere. But again, the power of Gridlock.
Certainly seemed to work out that round. He got it set up early, did a good job. The ability to throw the tracks, I think, is what really makes it flexible. You can get it into a lot of spots that really work against the defenders without overexposing yourself in a lot of ways. Looked like they were considering doing tellers again, but realized, maybe CEO is better for us. Again, though, they didn't fight too much the top control. They let them get control of there, and you saw what PZD was able to do from upstairs on that sledge was fantastic. So many kills from up there, not to mention the pressure and positioning. Just overall great play from PCD on the scene. I mean, I still feel like if Black Dragons wins this, it's on the back of PZD. CEO, though, definitely going to be locked in here, and they are going to hopefully try to defend it in a smart way that involves stopping that wall from being open on the back, because there's the Thatcher, which makes it a lot harder to stop that. They can't, of course, go for the impact tricking. But they have the K-Hit as well to be able to trick that. So maybe that's what they're going to be thinking instead of the impact trick. They're going to be going for the K-Hit or maybe a bit of both. We've also got the Echo. We've seen a lot of Echo play. It's funny, Echo's banned so often. And it's like, well, we see why he's banned so often, because when he's not, he's going to get played.
Oh, yes. It's a very strong operator, to say the least. I mean, we used to have that conversation with Flynn a bit ago. Is that a lot of times when Echo, well, it wasn't Echo. We're talking about Ying, I think. Yeah, when she got banned so much in the previous season here for LATAM, but when she doesn't get banned, she wasn't played at all still. So you're like, what's going on? What's the big reasoning behind it? And it was very difficult to figure it out. But here, it's kind of very clear what's going on. A lot of teams are very comfortable having an Echo. And of course, Echo's such a strong operator now with the double yokais. Yeah. It's weird that a year ago it wasn't the case, but then we looked at it after DreamHack Austin, and it was just a complete change of.
I feel like maybe he's going to need a small nerf, so he's not as much of a must pick or a must ban. I mean, they tried to do like a slight nerf when they spread it out to 2 yokais. They reduced the number of charges and increased the cooldown, but I'm not sure that was enough. Navi's, though, trying to play a little caution to the wind, playing by a stock, but he's going to rotate back. It looks like they have a lot of rotate options here to be able to actually try and play a little bit of roam game. But the drones coming out, they're just not face checking into these bullets, which is smart. You don't want to be doing that. You obviously especially need the Thatcher to stay alive to be able to do some work on those walls. But PZD, again, doing work. And that's important work because he's taking down the Kayed in case they needed to be able to pick up and re-trick any of those electric claws. Definitely not going to happen now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of the electric claws were used, if any. A lot of times Clyde will use one of his electric claws and then leave a second one
It looked
somewhere.
like both because I believe both sets of walls were electrified.
Still something kind of, it's not that easy to deal with them. It really depends on where it's set, but a grenade can definitely do some work. And of course you have the EMPs with the Thatcher, so Live's definitely going to be an important one for this. Panic will find the kill on Cyber. Huggzor's barely alive in this one here, but so far nobody's been gnomed. I'm a gnome.
They've got some good control here from Black Dragons. I mean, Huggzord a bit low on health, but at this point they're just really just trying to suss out the position of the last three so they can start to put pressure on him, especially the Echo if they can kill him. But there we go. Nice pressure onto the Doc Navi's. Gonna heal himself back up for no reason as he goes straight to the grave. So far it's 5 alive against 2.
And that's a great position as well to go for the crouch thermite charge right in the middle. It means you can't really get impact tricked if there was anything left, or even nitro cell being used against it if you're really that intent on it. But there's so many tracks just being deployed everywhere, and all of these ADS is being burned away. Bullet having the flashbang thrown right below him, so it doesn't really do anything to him per se. He's got to be careful. More smokes being thrown in by the Gridlock as Live is just watching. And we'll find one on Bullet. M-King last alive. He's got a yokai to use. No, it doesn't matter. PZD comes in from below. Immortals will fall. Flawless round by Black Dragons here.
Much swifter, too, than we'd seen from Immortals on this attack.
16 kills. Or who's on top?
Yeah.
Is it PZD?
Yeah, he's doing some work for his team. I mean, if you look at the rest of his team, too, the number of kills is very low in comparison. He is picking him up on his back and just going for a sprint. I mean, so far it's only 1 point ahead, but that's 2 points away from taking the day. If they can just lock in one more round, that guarantees at least the 1 point. And we'll see as they go down to CCTV here again. This is the one site that Immortals have been able to win, which is, of course, why they had to wait 2 rounds to be able to play it again. If they can succeed the second time and prove that they're much, much better at it than Black Dragons, at least that will give them a fighting chance to tie it up. But I gotta say, we were talking in the beginning about, Immortals being so strong and Black Dragons, having trouble, and I was trying to be optimistic because I think there was some potential for Black Dragons, and I think we're seeing it.
It really has. It really looks like Black Dragons have fixed a lot of their problems from the previous season. Being able to face off against Immortals, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. And Latin America is very well known for being a region where upsets are much more delicate and much more present in a pragmatic reality compared to really any other region.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely doing well for themselves. They seem very coordinated today. So hopefully, regardless of how this match turns out, they continue to build on that strength. They are, again, going to go with the Thatcher to bring that. Panico going to be on that Maverick. See if they can get their hatches open at the very least. Start to get some access down. Of course, they've got the Thermite as well. Be curious to see which way they're going to push from. Will they push from sewers? Are they going to be able to take server stairs? A lot of question marks on this attack just because there's a lot of different ways to attack the site, but they will almost always end up with the same way of actually pushing it. But nice drone there, catching one of the defenders. I believe that was Bullet again. Always in the garage. There he is. That is his home. Just parking himself there.
Park it like it's hot, man. PZD continuing in. Joining in the front lobby of the bank. Not going to find anyone. It's very odd, actually, that the janitor room is so close to the CEO chamber. It's literally right next to it. So even in a bank, the classes are mixing up, as one of our friends would say.
Yeah, I would think it'd be a CEO exclusive bathroom. I think the door's on the wrong side. Or maybe he needs to open up his
janitor
own
room.
Hole. Oh, the janitor room. I was thinking the
Yeah.
bathroom. Yeah. Oh, he could go pee in the janitor room, I suppose. So I'm sure there's buckets. That aside, though, yeah, that is an interesting class dynamic, and I'm sure that plays a lot into the lore and strategy on this map.
Of course, it makes a lot of sense. The person that founded the Prestige National Bank is definitely a closet communist. That's what I've heard.
Well, that was the closet. We found it. Well, they are going to push server stairs, it looks like, but it is slow going. A minute and a half into the round already, pretty much. And they're just dropping down over here. We'll see. Can he pull off an M870 Bonanza
Yeah.
yet again? I got to imagine probably not going to let him get away with that this time.
He's got the Devil Duck as well, and the EMP will destroy both of those ADSs. So right now the grenade's going to be so good against him. Grenade will fall right on in and do no damage to Cyber, but he's got support from his teammates. At least he'll push the attackers back for a moment, but Cyber is just unrelenting. He knows that this is his best shot.
He certainly has lost so much, yet they have yet to take it from him. Now, of course, they've got the hatch open as well, so once they start to pressure him down this time, he could get easily punished for it. So he's just, you know what, going for broke at this point. He hasn't yet to fire the M870, really, so he wants to at least get one shot off before he dies.
No shield to dip and dive behind this time. He's going to fall back. There you go. It still has a P12, so it can do a bit of damage. But when you're facing off against fully automatic rifles, you're not really going to be able to do too much.
Yeah, it's not so great at that point.
I'm king in the back. So right now, all this time has been wasted is perfect. It fits so well for Immortals. They have the pulse to just give them all the info. They only have those two sets of C4 to play with Novi's and M-King live at the last second. Will turn in from Garage, something you should be expecting, and maybe there's an echo. Yeah, he's just lying down on the floor, awaiting. Can they find the second? No, it's PX to dive on up. Panico, though, will rush on in to the stairs to find one. Novi's with the knife on to GDN. Panico shot down by Cyber. There you go, the 870's doing work, and M-King and Novi's will chime in. Every single player is doing the work for this one. Immortals tying it up here.
I gotta say, though, if Immortals can't fix their play on the other two sites, it's going to go to BD still, mathematically. But the fact they were able to defend CCTV twice and take it from Black Dragons twice shows me that is definitely by far their best bomb site on either side. Although it was ironic to see Bullet finally pull off of Garage for the most part and then just get slaughtered thanks to a very, very patient live with this drone, doing very good drone work as well. I mean, it almost makes you wish you had a... like a IQ or something on defense to find those drones sometimes, right?
I guess that's what Mossy makes sense as.
Sort of, but you can't find the drones. You could just take them.
No.
You know? And then you combine the two, right? You have someone that can see them and then someone that can take them. I don't know. All right, dears. Back to Tellers we go, though.
We can be hired also for these sorts of things.
I mean, technically we are hired
Technically
for these sorts of things. If we were, obviously, Sledge would still be throwing his hammer, you know?
Yes. Okay, it's been over a year since we requested that.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, wow. Anniversary. No.
Honestly.
Yeah, we got to be requesting that every season.
Well, now back on the defense. It's Immortals. Now, last time they didn't really have as much of a focus on the top floor. They let it go, and it gave PZD a lot of flexibility upstairs. So it was all the Sledge's basically playroom.
It's on Navi's, I think, a lot as the pulse to be able to try and stop that. But also, one way to play it, you set up a yokai drone up there. You don't use it to stun or anything. You just use it as a camera to be able to watch the people that take CEO. Let's say you lose CEO and you just defend it at first. Having that camera there makes it much more possible for either the Pulse or the Valkyrie to land a C4, or even the Mute. They've got 3 C4s to try and counter PZD playing up there. They've just got to have the right timing on them. Having an extra camera up there, I think, would help tremendously with that. And then after you make the kill, you can always rotate the camera out because there's no one in there to make the shot, because usually it's just one person playing in CEO once it's taken. Now, obviously, they're going to actually be playing in Archives, looking for any intel. You can get Cyber playing on the aggressive push. He still has an ADS in his pocket, too. Curious why he didn't put one down before going on such a dangerous roam, but he is going to be hanging out top floor, and he may just need to push back and use that pocket ADS if necessary.
Nitro Cell here being directed by Novi's, but it's not going to connect yet. They're trying to bait the attackers into it, and it's such a difficult thing to do, because now you can't really take it back, can you?
Nope. I certainly wish you could. I mean, that's one of the nice things about the Kate Electric Claws is a lot of times you get in range where you can, but live, finding Navi's first, that means the Pulse dead. C4 now just going to sit there and beat. Well executed by Live, just catching the right angle through the windows.
So technically 2 Nitro Cells have been lost there.
That is a big old bummer.
PXs and Novi's. There's still 1 available for the Valkyrie, but that's about it.
Yeah, that means it's top floor a lot more secure to be able to play from. PZD be able to do a bit more work, I suppose, once it gets going up there. A lot of drones coming out. No trackers thrown just yet, or the spikes. And last time he threw them in through the doorway, I believe, and one also on the other side to just be able to control both doors, but it's odd that he hasn't gone for that just yet. Maybe he didn't want to be as predictable in terms of, oh, that yokai just spotted out, sitting there, fully accessible through the drone hole.
It's a common position to put the yokai in because you're not usually expecting anybody to come through there. But yeah, you have to really dive on down to do anything against it. Finally, we see the SG-553, so definitely AUG not being the play.
There's the trackers.
One more set of tracks here to use, and 249 just has so much ammo that you can use, and a quick reload as well with the magazine. 40 seconds left. This PZD, yet again, as we saw before, will just have complete control of the top floor, and he'll find a kill. Hugzord with one as well. It turns into a V5. PX and M-King last two, and Yokai was running a shield in this case, so he has to stay behind something, but I'm not sure if there's anything left for him. Grenade chucked down our BZD. It actually will not connect, and just keeps hammering away at that floor. Nitro Cell will connect, but Live is already on the site. That's a double kill for him. M-King last alive, and he's in one position all on his own. The track's being deployed. He's trying to time things here to delay Panico. The Yokai drone is right onto him, but it gets lost at the last second. Should be able to set that diffuser down. M-King turning around the angle here in Skylight, but can't find anything. Diffuser's been set. He finds the... no, he finds the IQ, but it's too slow. Hugzord gets it down, and... You know, continuing in the track record, is it going to be tie?
Nope.
Or second tie?
Not unless they can either figure out CEO or tellers on their defense, because so far they have only been able to defend CCTV, and now they either have to play tellers again or go to CEO, which they have not been able to defend either. Now that, of course, assumes that they can't manage to find a way to change it to make it work or just happen to play it better. But they're going to go to CEO, and this is, it seems like it's just, they're not able to hold off nearly as well. I gotta admit, Black Dragons having some very good attacks. I mean, just destroying far better, I think, than Immortals did on their attacks. A lot of their attacks very much came down to the last second. Technically, that one was kind of last second as well, but I feel like the time management overall from Black Dragons has just been much better. They're able to do a lot more work. They're able to get a lot more kills early as well. They're not executing against so many people left alive on Immortals when they go to execute, so it's not such a desperate execution as well. Just overall, I'm definitely favoring Black Dragons in this match just because their play has been so much more consistent and solid. Whereas Immortals seems like they've fallen on some of the players like Bullet and Navi's, just pulling off some really good plays, and it hasn't always turned into an actual round win. Black Dragons, on the other hand, especially with PZD doing some serious work, has made a huge difference. Live has also been showing up as well, but 17 for PZD. He's going for that 20 mark. Can he get a 3K this round, even if they don't win it, to try and get up to that 20? Obviously not likely to in any way catch up to the record set by Rampy, but still going to try.
Not too far off. Maybe this will be the round.
Yeah, maybe. They're definitely setting up for the impact tricking as well. There you see the impacts in the pocket of Castle.
Still extended barrel in the Castle. It's just... I had the conversation again with Rogue 9, as I always like to do when we were in Milan. I said, why do people still use extended barrel? I was like, beats me. I did the math. I did it like a billion times and it just doesn't work. I'm like, please educate these people.
Well, technically it makes the bullets closer to your victim by a few inches. Therefore, the chances of hitting them is much higher.
Look, man, not everybody cares about a few extra inches.
You know what? Apparently the umps do. I gotta say that we did just see an ace from Hyena last night in USN with the ump on Castle with the extended barrel. So it's possible, and that was against Rogue. So
it doesn't really say much nowadays, does it?
I wasn't gonna go that far.
Panico, though, Alonga, it's a joke, by the way, if you didn't get that.
Nope, you're in trouble now.
Oh, God. Not again.
Yep.
Ella is going to be very mad at me.
Well, it makes sense, because you're going to be in the doghouse, buddy.
Oh, man. I'm a cat guy.
Yeah.
Panico along the outside. Still, there's nobody pushing against him. We've seen so many runouts, but those are mostly on land, Evan. Yeah. Not so much online, weirdly enough.
Cyber with the crouch. Or, I mean, sorry, the slow walk. Rather than crouching. Might as well crouch. He's just going to walk his way all the way up to a flank position. This could be a big play here. Maybe it could be something that could actually help them hold this round off and bring it to a tie. But it's definitely looking like time ticking away on Black Dragons might actually work against them here. Because they're going to be so focused on the execute, that will give the opportunity for Cyber. It's just a matter of whether or not he whiffs his shots and times it correctly. Bullet as well also playing in that Janitor closet, so close to that CEO.
Still alive along the outside. They'll be able to open up the wall here, Black Dragons. But Novi's connecting with his Nitro cell. Tugsor taken away. M-King with another one. This is really looking like a tie here. Second one maybe for Pro League so far. GDN will walk on in, but face bullet. Cyber with another one in live. Everybody with Black Dragons, they fall down like flies, and Immortals with a flawless round. Put it all up. That's a 6-6.
Well, I retract my position, obviously. Immortals figured it out.
Yeah, and here we see that SSG are not the only team that are capable of constant draws.